Live. Connecting to YouTube. Connecting to YouTube. They're going to hate it. They're going to hate it. No advance warning. No advanced warning. No notification. And we're live. And we're live, people. We are live. Live, live, live. Yeah, let's just check this out. Let's check it out. In Denver. 9-inch colas. Oh no. Oh no. What's going on? What's going on, guys? I'm assuming you can hear me. Oh, I hear myself. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. No, help. I'm getting poorer. I'm getting poorer. Let's see. Let's move into this. Let's make some people famous tonight. Let's make some people famous. Turn this. Minor delay. That's all right. That's all right. We're gonna survive. We're gonna survive this together, friends. We're gonna survive this. It's a little cloudy. It's a little foggy. It's not crisp. It's not crisp. That's all right. Get a little closer. Let's enhance. Let's enhance this here. I'm gonna have to get or you get Game Show or one of these other one of these apps that lets me put the. See, I like the chat. You know, the chat's where I live. You know what I mean, guys? Oh, oh, you can't hear me? There we go. It's an extra. How's an extra 5 dBs for you guys? I can afford more. I'm not trying to be cheap on the dBs. Oh, I can hear myself. That's why I don't listen to myself. Still quiet. Still quiet. All right, that's all right. Hey, you know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're feeling the 5 dBs now, aren't you? Aren't you? I can hear better on my phone. Tom Waters. The sound is very low. Okay, well, we can fix that, gang. We can fix that, gang. Let's dissolve into that. It's a daily struggle. It's a daily struggle, guys. All right. I got to monitor the audio. I got to monitor the audio. That's why the dear Lord baby Jesus invented these tiny little earbuds to go in his little baby Jesus ears so he could listen to iTunes in the manger. I can do the same thing here. Check, check. Where is that audio coming from, gang? Oh, now we're crystal. Now we're crystal. More dBs? More dBs. All right, I'm going to give you 2 more dBs. I'm not trying to be thrifty with the dBs. It's just an echoey room. Yeah, I think that's going to suffice. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, you don't want to run in the red. You don't want to see me in the red, guys. You do not want to see me in the red. I went to the red yesterday. It was not pretty. Not pretty at all. Still pretty quiet. Well, I don't know, man. I think I'm looking at, you know what? I do appreciate you guys. I do appreciate you guys. Let's feast a little ganders over here at these audio levels. See if we can improve anything. Yeah, I'm pretty much maxing. I'm pretty much maxing. I think I was just talking quiet. Let's project. Unique New York. Unique New York. There we go. Let's get a top-down view. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking, gang. We're cooking. I can see you. You can see me. Great sound. Makes us listen a little more carefully, you know? Yeah, that's why my teachers always used to talk real quiet. Ned, they were low talkers. A real low talker. Real low talker. Anywho. So what do we got cooking? What do we got cooking in here? I got 3 pretty close-up angles because we're going to be getting in tight tonight, guys. We're going to be getting in real tight. And we got 175 people. That's great. That's great. You know what? Let's pull back. Let's pull this back a little bit. And let's get into a little unboxing action. I usually don't really I don't love the unboxings. I don't love them. But I like them when they're mine. You know what I mean? It's no fun watching your brother and sister open their Christmas presents, but when it comes time, when it comes time for your stuff, it gets real fun real fast. Can I even read chat? What I'm trying to do is read chat from here. Oh yeah, we got some, oh man. Oh golly, we got some big hitters in the house. Silver Squirrel Farms, Fada Mike in the house. Federico Perrin, Quality Matters, Chronicle Grows. Let's get into it. Okay, yeah, all right, fine, man. Fine, whatever. Okay, you want to rush me, Chronicles? Chronicles, I got to say, buddy, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan, man. Hey, got my camera out. What do you think of this? What do you think of this fidelity here? Is this some high definition? Medium definition at the least. Oh man. Well, at least they're cellulose peanuts, gang. All right. Well, we're gonna do the old Zach Morris timeout here. We got some cellulose peanuts in the mix. We gotta, excuse me for a second here. I do appreciate the cellulose, I'm not gonna quote a Half-Life. I'm not gonna quote a Half-Life here. I don't make stuff up unless I really know it. But I have a feeling, I have a very strong feeling that the half-life on a cellulose peanut is half that of a styrofoam peanut. And I'm no math expert, but if you take a half times a half, that's a quarter, baby. That's a quarter, and you can take that to the bank. You can take that right to Wells Fargo, if you know what I mean. You guys know, you with me still? You with me still? I still got an eye on you. You can't see me, but I can see you. Oh my goodness. It's longer than I thought, guys. It's a whole lot longer than I thought. Let's see what's going on with chat. I missed you. Hold on. What do we got? Manager, what DSLR do you use for filming the one with the boom mic and stuff up top? I use the Panasonic GH5. It's actually, it's not a lens reflex style camera. It's what's called a Micro Four Thirds. And it's a little smaller sensor size, so people argue that it's a little bit lower performance in the low light settings when compared to a full frame DSLR. But for my purposes, it's very nice. It's very nice. I mean, very nice. I mean, if you want to know how nice it is, you just ask Chronicle Grows. I mean, and look, guys. I mean, he's not quite restraining order level fan, but he's a strong fan. And I think he would kill me. I think he'd murder me for my camera. Pretty daggone sure of that. For you, actually, you know what? For you, manager, I really think, and chat, feel free to just disagree with me here, but I really think the Sony A6000, A62, A63, I think there's even an A6500 series. Look at the A series Sonys. It's a Micro Four Thirds setup, so the lenses are going to be a little more affordable, generally speaking. That's what I'd recommend for you, manager. But what we're looking at here, is the new Emerson strip from Rapid Light Emitting Diode. RapidLED.com. Ooh, it's a lot. Guys, look, I don't mean to dive right on into this, sexual innuendo business, because it is a low-hanging fruit, and I do it a lot. But I'm just going to tell you right now, from my perspective, this thing is quite long, and everyone knows the length is not always everything, but the girth on this puppy, let's dissolve into this. That's meat right there. Baby. It's about 2 inches. What? I'm gonna have to get my protractor out for this one. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of guys out there talking measurements without proving anything. I'm not that kind of guy. I wouldn't do you like that. I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I would not do it. Now, I do prefer to use the metric system when measuring things of this nature. So the numbers are bigger. The numbers are a little bigger. Doesn't hurt anybody. Doesn't hurt anybody. That's 50 mil. That's 50 mil all day. Switch over to inches. That's yeah, just a hair shy of 2 inches. That's a big strip. That's a big beefy strip. For 24 watts, that means no heat sink, folks. That means no heat sink, folks. Let's check the rigidity on these puppies. Not too bad. Let's see what we're working with on the aluminum. You know what I mean? Don't make fun of me, guys. Come on, I see some red here. Let's see what's going on here. Chronicles. Oh, who do we got? The Grow Green Show. What's up, Playboy? Demenis. Skeptic. Quality Matters. Again, Sir Dabs a lot. Ghostface Killer. I never done a YouTube video, but I really want... Sorry, when someone spells YouTube with a U, no offense, Ghostface Killer, I'm going to read this in an accent. I never done a YouTube video before, but I really want to make a video. Where do I start and how far as editor, etc.? Well, Ghostface Killer, since that is clearly the wrong accent for that name, a good place to start would be grab your cell phone and record a video or several short clips of a video, 30-second clips, 1-minute clips. Go ahead and upload them to your computer, and God, your credibility really goes downhill when you can't say computer. Upload them to your computer and use the YouTube editor. Just sign into YouTube, go into your Creator Studio, and there's an editor right there. So without any money, you can make a video. Make a video, son. Make a video. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's doing it. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. Well, unless you're making rosin videos and your whole freaking channel gets deleted. Poor Fagroli, he's in the sights. Look, about 1.5 mil thickness on this. Let's, for all my machinist talking thou. It just sounds cooler. Nobody really knows what a thou is. Scholars maintain that it's 1,000th of an inch, but it's about 60 thou, guys. It's about 60 thou. It's pretty respectable. You ask your machinist friends, they'll tell you you're GD and right, that's respectable. Okay, so what is this thing? Well, it's a strip, light emitting diodes, LEDs, and it is primarily deep red. Looks like about a dozen 660 nanometer deep red, and it's got about a half a dozen far reds, and they're on two separate channels of control. And it's got a barrel jack. This is a 2.5 millimeter barrel jack. So you use a power supply to power it, and they're in this box here. I'll show you that in a sec. And you turn it on, you turn it off, and you use it to grow plants. But if you want to get into Phytochrome switching, you want to get into finer controls and things like that, it does have 2 digital control ports here. These are going to be 5-volt PWM, so it's going to work directly off of your storm controller. From Rapid LED without the analog converter. So, you can run it right there. 2 Meanwhile LDDs. Let's feast a little ganders. Mike, these are $100, $99. And I ran through the numbers, and it's about $65 worth of parts. About $65 worth of parts, excluding this 1 meter long, 2 inch wide PCB, which adds some value. But I think the big value is in not having to solder 18 flipping stars together, with all the wire, and the fact that it's on this big thing. We'll have to see how warm it is. Luckily, we have a way of doing that. Well, there's 2 ways to do it. One, you hold it up to a baby's butt cheek or face cheek, and if they don't cry, it should be fine for your plants. If they cry, well, you got bigger problems with Child Protective Services. But we'll use a FLIR camera here to see how warm it is. Now, what is included with this strip is looks like a Rapid LED branded 30 volt 4 amp power supply. So that's 120 watts. So my understanding from Mike is that he's bringing a splitter with a power supply to the market, and he's going to be able to sell pairs of strips, because I think you're going to need 2 of these to really do anything noticeable for your 4x4 space. But for your 4x2 space, one of them should be good. And yeah, so we look forward to this product. I think it just launched. So, you know, Mike's always looking to try to save people money and offer value where there's value to be had. But let's check in with chat. Let's dissolve into that. See what's going on. Wookie Kush. Is this the mouse puck on steroids? Yeah. Well said, my friend. Hey, leave the jokes up to me, okay, Wookie? Leave the jokes up to me, please. I got nothing to go off of. Yeah, you're right, it is. It's a mouse puck on steroids. It's a mouse puck on steroids. Doesn't have my face on it, though. This is Mike's own intellectual property. This is his own design, and I didn't know about it until like a few days ago. And so I think that's fantastic, you know? I think that's fantastic. Especially seeing the progression of Rapid LED. You know, they took great care of me back when I was a fish tank guy. And, you know, now that we're growing the ganja, we got good people, good businessmen that aren't trying to get rich quick. They're just trying to move volume on affordable products. And I dig that. Let's move into this here. Let's dissolve into that. So we got one of these hooked up. And obviously you can tell which ones are the 660 nanometer deep reds, because they're the brighter ones. And then obviously these ones are the far reds. And I think what we'll do is let's leave this puppy running. We'll get into some other things. You know, we'll catch up, you know, have a few goofs, a few laughs. And we'll leave this thing running. Let's see if it gets hot. You know, let's see if it gets hot. There aren't any babies around, so we'll just have to be patient. And yeah, for the record, I don't endorse child abuse of any kind. Alrighty. Next. See, guys, now that was kind of fun. A little unboxing, you know, a little unboxing. Some unboxings, though. Oh boy, some unboxings make me want to take some NyQuil and curl up and just sleep. Here's the instruction manual. It's 47 pages. The thickness of the box looks like it's about a 12 mil double layered corrugated cardboard. You know, they just go into too much detail. It's like, just open the fucking box. Just open the box. All right, you still with me? Checking on chat. See what's going on. Fish tanks. That's right, Trevor. Fish tanks all day, homeboy. I used to dive in them. Deuce Bigelow all day, son, all day. I was just on that website yesterday. Chiefs a lot. Yeah, it's a good site to, you know, keep in your browser. You never know. Is this a flower initiator? Well, what it is it's a dual channel, you know, kind of a far red, deep red type of deal. And just for reference, as I give everyone my address, oh, that's chilled. Okay, it's the Chilled Tech address, guys. No alarms. So, you know, here's your spectrum. It has the diodes in the 660, the photosynthetic area where the chlorophyll peaks are. Then it also has the far red out here. This isn't the graph for it, this is just a graph. And so it has 2 separate channels. So you've got your channel for, you know, your photomorphogenic, your budding purposes, chlorophyll absorption purposes, and then you've got this other spectrum over here. And if you want more information on how that works, I have a video on it, and it is called, oh, I don't know what it's called. Season 4, Episode 2, Light Recipes, maybe? The one where it's got the Discovery Channel ladies making sandwiches. Whichever video, if you see some real B-grade 420p footage of some ladies making some Sammies, that's the one. You're in the right place, homeboy. You're in the right place. You are in the right place. Hi, Grow Mouse. Hi, Scarecrow. Hi, Limb Mass. Oh, Limb Mass, you just want to spend your whole day with me, don't you, buddy? Don't you, buddy? Your whole day. You spent 47 minutes with me earlier, and now you're back for more abuse. Oh, is that a Malik spider? Hey, Malik, what's crack-a-lacking, man? What's going on? Did he just say crack-a-lacking? Don't say that kind of stuff. Who else do we got in here? Deloski. Sid Avery. What's up, Sid? Good to see you. Yeah, there you go, Holmes. Anthocyanins. Chlorophyll's sexier older cousin, if you know what I mean. When chlorophyll gets a little long in the tooth, stops cell division, you know what I mean? It stops growing, starts going senile, aka senescent. It checks out. And chlorophyll's hot older, not blood related. Not blood related. I should mention that for legal purposes. Chlorophyll's older, sexy cousin, who is of age, she's 19, and she is not blood related. She steps in, takes over chlorophyll's job, and starts making stuff purple. You know, starts giving you the pinks and the purples, assuming you've got a temperature differential. Pretty important. Usually you need, it's not necessarily the exact temperature being super cold or whatever. It's more of a differential between daytime and nighttime that helps anthocyanins be expressed if they're already present. Obviously, there's genetic influences. You know, you got some dudes growing probably 80-degree nights, but their stuff's still purple, and that's genetic. And then there's some nutrients, nutrient stuff, and chilling the roots. I don't know. You guys in chat, you know better than me. You can tell these people. Let's dissolve out of that. You know what you're saying. You know what you're saying, don't you? Uh-oh, someone's saying, pick me. Pick me. Pick who? Zoe and Slammer. Hey, what's going on? Music Monster, pick me, Girl Mouse. You're picked. You're picked for recognition and love and appreciation. Appreciation. Hey, Pedro's Girl Room. What's up? Oh, actually, you know what? Do you guys have a show? Do you guys have a show right now? Is this your slot? Is this your time slot? Carotenoids and carotenes bring out the red and the orange colors too. That is a very astute and correct observation. My good buddy, High Root Farms, welcome to the chat. Cutter Electronics, what's cracking? And I don't mean to play favoritism with just Rapid. There's no, kind of secret underground sexual interplay going on. They're just close. I get this stuff fast. Cutter also has many excellent products in the range of colored diodes, and their website conveniently allows you to search by spectrum, which is very nice. Very nice, very nice. So, back in my day, we used to have to walk uphill both ways. It's a very, very hilly geographic region. Both ways uphill in the snow. And even going back further from that, Green Jeans Day, he was telling me he had to walk uphill 3 ways in the snow and naked. And that's in Northern California, so that's rare. And back in those days, we had to drill holes in metal. We had to drill holes in metal, folks, and it was no picnic. There was a lot of frustration. And so I think those days are behind us, but there's some new stuff coming out on the market. And you might have to get those snowshoes on. So we're gonna drill some holes in some metal, right meow. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. And there's also some things you might want to consider buying. Tricky D Labs, welcome. Yo, everyone, what's up? Hey, am I skeezing? Somebody, tag me so it's red so I can kind of see over there. Am I skeezing in someone's time spot or whatever? Because I don't really know what day it is even. I'm assuming it's Wednesday, but it could be Thursday or Friday. And I just kind of popped this up to open these boxes so, I can kind of, put a pause on the stream and then we can pick it back up later. So you just let me know. 3 years, he's never picked me. B-City, I'm picking you right now, baby. I keep getting the feeling the honeymoon's over between you and Gene. Me and Gene? Well, they say you're never supposed to meet your heroes, right? It was funny. There was a time when I would wake up every Saturday morning, and I would be like, oh, what time is it? Oh, it's only 9, damn it. 9 Central was like 11 or whatever, West Coast, where Gene was making his videos. And there was a time, it was a good chunk of time where Gene would make a video every Saturday morning at precisely, approximately, nonsensically about the same time, right? And that would be the highlight of my whole flipping weekend, And he was such a little tease, that Gene. He was such a little tease. Remember, he would show like the first half of a driver. It'd be something like this. You know, he'd have you all juiced up. You'd be all amped up on something, getting excited. Like just, you thought you were figuring some stuff out. And he'd bring a driver into the shot, you know, and he'd be like, oh yeah, guys, I'm Green Gene. This is my super efficient cob build. What's a cob? It's chip on board LED. It's the next best thing in growing. And you know, he doesn't make that. Why am I doing it that way? I don't know how to do a Gene voice. I'm just gonna talk normal. He'd be like, yeah, guys, you know, Green Gene, the badass driver. Check out these cobs, man. It's like 9 million jillion grams per gigawatt. Yeah, check this out, you know. And then he'd be like, all right, see you guys next week. And then, you know, you'd only get to see half the driver. And then he'd just like be like, just disappear like a ghost. And I'd be like, I love you and I hate you at the same time. Why won't you show exactly the components that I need? But those are the days, guys. Those are the days, if you know what I mean. Where can I pre-order the puck? What puck? What do you think about symbiotic genetics? I mean, I don't know, Super G. I've been seeing Loki grows, and I think it's quite nice. Quite nice if I do say so myself. MK Trooper, it's Friday in the UK. Hey, it's 4 o'clock somewhere. Tricky D, go live when you want to. This time slot thing is dumb. Just do you, man. Okay, yeah, you know, hey, fuck it. Yeah. Oh, I was trying not to cuss on this one. If I don't cuss, I'm gonna make $12 from this video. And you know, times are tight these days. When you don't have a garden, that 12 bucks goes a long way, but you say the F word too many times or you try to press rosin, you ain't getting that $12. You're just not gonna get it. So, step 1. You know, I usually like to print out something on the computer, you know, print it out, and you can do that in Paint or Adobe Illustrator or whatever. And I like to tape that with 2-way tape so I can get my whole pattern just perfect, as opposed to putting the component on there. But in this instance, I've already got, this is a Rapid LED 140 millimeter heatsink, and you know, it's already got some holes for some Veros and some Crees and some other stuff. And I've been working on this this new product, and it's not ready. It's not ready to be sold yet. I think I'm gonna put it on pre-order next week. But I need to tap some more holes. This particular LED is 100 watt capable. It goes to 2 amps, and it's quite nice. It's actually very nice. It's got some 660 reds and stuff, and I'll do a whole video on about it. I didn't really. I'm sure people are going to want to talk about it or whatever, and we can definitely do that. But this particular heatsink only has 4 holes. And while I have thermally tested this, and it really only needs 4 screws and no thermal, for the purposes of testing and for the purposes of being thorough, I'm going to go ahead and drill and tap a couple other screws. And I think it's a technique that everyone should just at least be familiar with. I know that there's a lot of prefab heat sinks out in the marketplace, and I think that's wonderful. But the hobby's moving so quickly that, you know, when these suppliers, you know, like Rapid, like Cutter, like all these other people that are carrying stuff, there's going to be new stuff that comes out, you know, and there's going to be times when you want to get an optic and it doesn't fit the whole pattern, or, you know, you want to try a Luminous or a Citizen or a, you know, a Panasonic or whatever, Cobb. I don't know, is Panasonic a real thing? Do they make Cobbs? I don't know. Scholars suggest that they make Cobbs. So there's going to be a time when you're going to need to tap your own holes. And so that's the technique that you're going to be observing right now, live on 2 wires, 1 hole with your host, Grow Mouse. And so what I usually like to do is, you know, go ahead and get it pretty secure. And you can mark it with a marker or whatever, but I like to use this hole punchy thingy. It's pretty technical terminology for it. You can search this on Harbor Freight, and it pretty much is just called hole punchy thingy. And it's got a little spring in it, and when you push it down in the metal, you line it, kind of eyeball it, and you push it down, and it kind of goes in and out. There's a little spring, and it marks the center, and that's important. And it does a much better job than a Sharpie or a pencil or something like that, because you can mark the hole, and now you got a little divot for the drill bit to go in. Now, I always take things to an 11, if you know what I mean. And that means I like to do a good job. I strive for perfection, you know. I strive for perfection at all times. And I like a hole in the center of the hole, you know. I don't like a lot of cockeyed holes and and things of that nature in my builds. So I always start out with a small snurl smit. And this one's a 1/16. And I swear I'm not drunk. I swear I'm not drunk. And I like to start out with a smaller bit because it allows you to just precisely get right there in the center of the hole. Ooh. And now that's what you got to be a little careful of. Luckily I didn't break it. But as you get towards the end, to penetrate, sometimes things get a little crispy. I forgot a step. I forgot a step. I forgot the motto of the show. The motto of the show of 2 wires, 1 hole. So always put some lube on it. Well, that's embarrassing. Let's quickly switch views and hope that you didn't notice that in my demonstration of how to drill a hole, I broke the bit on the very first hole. And now my cheeks are starting to get a little red. I'm feeling the beginnings of a little light, yep, it is. It's a little perspiration. And I'm sitting in a room alone and you can't see my face, but embarrassment is starting to set in. My voice is starting to change. I'm supposed to be the guy, and I just broke a drill bit on the very first hole that I tried. See, and that just, that actually did that on purpose to teach you young whippersnappers a lesson. You really don't want to be doing this kind of work without a nice lubricant. And my lubricant of choice is the official sponsor of the show, and that's Tap Magic. That's Tap Magic. So let's go back to this. Give a little love to our sponsor, Tap Magic. See, when you don't buy Tap Magic, some really bad stuff happens. Public embarrassment, potential mutiny in the chat. Potential mutiny in the chat. There's a lot of ramifications. So you're definitely going to buy that product from our sponsors. So let's try this again. Let's try this again. There we go. Oh man, now it's like butter. It's a whole different scenario here. I'm gonna support it a little bit. And I promise you this will get a little more exciting than just drilling a hole in just a second, because I'm gonna show you some other techniques that I think are fantastic. There we go. Now on this one, yep, there we go. It's about 7/8 of the way through. So that takes care of our hole. Next thing I'm gonna do from Harbor Freight, and I do this, when I discovered this thingy, it's, I believe this is called a, you could tell I wasn't really very prepared for the stream. It's like a chamfering bit or a countersinking bit. And it also has a deburring feature here. There's a couple different sizes. These come from Harbor Freight. It's about $6, $7 for a 3-pack. And what this thing does is it just takes all that crap off of the edge. And when you're doing small holes, you can use a smaller size or you can use a little bigger one depending on how much burr you have. But this does two things. It cleans up the hole. It gives it that nice professional, almost like a CNC'd look. You don't want to go too deep on it. But what it does is it lets the tap get started. Tapping is such a butt pain, dude. It really is. And I don't know how closely you can see this here, but this is what's called a spiral tap. It's like a spiral drill tap. And it's just so much more forgiving. And this is one of the smallest sizes. This is a 440. So it's like the American equivalent of an M3. And I like this stuff. I like the 440 because you can get them regularly. And I'm not going to break this. The trick is you start going in a little bit and then you immediately back up. And you just go slow. And if it's your first time, you want to take a drill like this and you want to set the clutch. You want to set the clutch to something conservative. That way the drill will stop and bind up like that if it gets in trouble. If you get too much torque, you don't want too much torque. Just nice and easy. When it starts to bind up, you back it out. And in, and out. And in, and out. And there you go. Now you got a nice tapped hole. A nice tapped hole for a 440 screw. That's presto. That's presto. Let's see if the screw fits. There we go. All right. So the reason I'm showing you this is that some of you are going to have some heat sinks around, and some of you are going to want to recycle this stuff and save that money. And when these come out on the market pretty soon, you might have to tap your heat sinks. So it's a skill you're going to want to have. Let's check in with our chat room.
Still wet behind the ears. Yeah, I think I always am. Hard work, cuz. I think I always will be. What's up, DOG? What's cracking, homeboy? How are you? Machine shop class with Gromhouse. Oh my gosh. That would be a nightmare. That would be a nightmare, B. Butler. Good to see you in here. Serenity Grower, please leave this up, man. Love the vid. I will leave it up. I don't even care anymore. I don't even care anymore about getting embarrassed or whatever because I broke a drill bit on the very first hole in an instructional video on how to drill holes in metal, and I couldn't even do it. Just, you know, you just can't sweat the small stuff, gang. You can't do it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So anyway, you know, just like Martha Stewart would do, I've got one pre-mounted for your viewing pleasure. Pre-mounted for your viewing pleasure. And this is kind of what it looks like. And the reason I'm showing this to you guys is that I've been kind of promoting this on Instagram. I'm about to shoot a video, you know, a produced video, so it's nice and concise, and you know, no drill bits get broken. I'm going to show you guys the output and the stats and stuff behind this board because it's a pretty affordable board. It's got like 220 Samsungs on it. It's got the 660 Reds on it. And the board itself, the LED board, is $50. And it fits a lot of popular heat sinks. If you have the rapid ones, it fits the rapid ones that go in the rails that slide back and forth all the live long day. And I think it's gonna be a really popular item for, you know, for budget limited growers and stuff like that. And there's drivers that can just run 1 or 2 or 4. And it's really flexible. It's a 48 volt 2 amp product. But that's sort of the max. Really, a lot of these are 45 and 46 volt. And the reason I did that is I made this spreadsheet a while ago, or at least I started on this spreadsheet, of all the Meanwheel drivers, all the popular Meanwheel drivers. And what I noticed was there are a bunch of drivers that can they can run like 2.9 cobs, or 3.9 but not 4 cobs, or 4.99 but not 5 cobs. And that was when I was checking on like the 50 volt Veros, which is becoming really, really popular. And I thought if I made a product that just was a couple volts less, it would let people that maybe had a 3 cob setup with a driver capable of running 3.9 but not 4 to then run that 4th item. So that's why it is what it is. And the other nice thing about it is that, you know, it'll fit nicely on the HLG 48 series, which is, guess what? Wait for it, low voltage. That's right. So, you know, I've got big dreams, big hopes, and big aspirations, and everything is easier when you're dealing with low voltage. So anything, you know, 48 volts or under is easier to get certified, UL, CE, CTE, all that good stuff. And so this is kind of the driver that I was thinking about for these pucks, and you would need to run a minimum of 3 on this driver here, and 3 of these will take this much juice all day. But the nice thing about these parallel wired drivers is that, you know, on your next paycheck you could add a 4th and drive up efficiency. Though you could add a 5th, or actually you could run 6 of them on this driver, or 9 of them on this driver if you wanted like the ultimate spread, the ultimate efficiency. And you can push 2.6 micromoles per joule with this puck when you run it soft at like 1,000 milliamps. This thing runs it at like 2.1, 2.2 amps. So yeah, more on that later. More on that later. There's so much. There's just so many options, so many things that are available. Let me catch up with my chat room. Catch up with my chat room here real quick. I'm just gonna read it. I got a few 130 millimeter, but looking at that, I guess I'll get some overhang. Yeah, Cronny, you're gonna get a little overhang. Let's see what we're working with here. Let's enhance. There we go. Let's enhance. Metric system. Here we go. Let's see. Now, the puck itself on the flat sides is 132 millimeters on the flat sides. On the round sides, the maximum diameter is 136, almost 137 millimeter. But the nice thing about it is that this thing performs pretty well thermally with just the 4 central screws. And those central screws are they're roughly 75 mil apart, and they're, you know, on 4 quadrants. So I think as long as you have the diodes covered, which is 121 mil from diode to diode, oops, 122 mil, I think you could do this. If you were really budget limited and you were just really keen on saving those heat sinks, 125 mil heat sink would probably get it, and you'd have a little overhang, but at least the diodes would be covered. In that instance, I would absolutely run thermal. I have thermal on this one. Thermal is not 100% required, but you get about a 2 or up to 2.7 degrees Celsius drop when you run thermal. And of course, the heat spread is much better when you run thermal. Much better when you run thermal. So, yeah. What's the difference between the Vero B, C, and D on the Rapid LED? I thought they didn't bin. Bridgelux doesn't bin the Veros at all, to my understanding. So the difference is, let's see. So B, C, and D. And this is going to be the subject of another future video, an actual produced video. And I am actually making videos again. So, you know, we got that to look forward to, mutually together. Mutually together. I put that video out last week, and it was pretty well received, even though it's just an interview. But Andrew's just such a G. When I said our world, he really does come from our world, like the ladies and gentlemen that are in this chat. People that care about the stuff that we care about, you know, geeky stuff. So we know the Vero C is, that's like the 70 volt nominal, you know, roughly 70 volts. And these ones are a little more expensive. They're like 32 bucks or something like that. And these ones have the most chips in it. So this one's like the best. This one's number 1. The Vero D, I believe, is like the 50 volt version. Are we gonna have to check spreadsheets? Always get these two confused. Damn it, I gotta do this. I gotta make sure we're right. Somebody, oh, let's race. Let's race. Let's race and see who can, let's see who can tell me faster than me can look it up. Let's see who can tell me faster. Hold on, we're gonna look this up. We're gonna look this up. Bridgelux Vero. There it is. It's still a race. It's still a race. D, 38 volts. D is 38 volts, okay. I think Corey Stewart won. I'm going to call it a tie, Corey. I'm going to call it a tie. D is 38, B is 54, you're right. Well, up to 54. This one's like, some people call it a 36, but yeah, it's really about a 38. The B's a 38. And then the D's, you know, 50 to what, 52 volts, something like that, depending on the drive current. And this one can go up to 71 volts. So this one's the most efficient, and I think this one's like second. This one's probably third. This one's kind of like the Cree replacement, but it uses 38 volts instead of 36. So now you can fit one less per driver. Meanwhile, drivers work a lot better with Cree than with the Vero B, but the D, they work pretty well. And the thing I like about the 70 volt is, even though it's a little pricier, it's got more chips on it, it's a little bit more efficient, and you can run it at like an amp. You know, you can run it at like an amp, which means you can put 4 of them on like a 1,000 milliamp driver. Like if you had an HLG at 320, 1,050, you can put like 4 of them on there. You got a little headroom left over, but that's pretty good. But both of these are pretty good. So what I aim to do, oops, sorry, I'm gonna dissolve into that. What I aim to do, and Mike sent me all this stuff to evaluate. I wanna put a B on this one, a C on this one, and a D on this one, and I want to run them at the same wattage, you know, so that'll be different drive currents. Like, so this one here, if I ran this one at 2 amps, you know, it would be roughly, what, 76 volts. And if I run this one at like 1 amp, or maybe 1,050 milliamp, it'd be about 70 watts. So 2 amps, 70 watts, 1 amp, 70 watts, and then this 50 volt will be like what, like 1.4 amps? So I think I can handle that. Run them all at like, you know, the 70 watt range on this heatsink, and take some thermal data, you know, with the FLIR camera, and see which one performs better thermally, which will give us an idea of wall plate efficiency, right? Like how much juice is going into the heatsink and how much is coming out as photons. And I think that'll be very nice. I think it'll be very nice. All right, let's go mobile. Let's go mobile here. Checking on some things here. Glad you're back. Oh, thanks, Scarecrow. I'm glad to be back. I can't stand Tech Talk, but Grow Mouse is the homie, so I'm here anyways. Oh, thanks, Phoenix Early Bird. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. B ran at 2100 is 100 watts. Well, let's see. I mean, let's see. B, if we take 38, well, let's see. Let's see. If we take 38 times 2.1, okay, that's 80 watts actually. And if you multiply that by 1.10 to account for driver inefficiency, you'd have about 88 watts. So yeah, we're kind of in the ballpark. We're speaking the same language. We're speaking the same language at least, if you know what I mean, Kyle. Kyle, man, freaking Kyle, man, freaking linger. Kyle, you're getting the snickle fritz, man. You were off by 15 watts, Kyle. Getting the snickle fritz. All right, here we go. Let's see how this Emerson stick is performing on the thermals. Are we on the right thingy? Yeah, we sure as heck are. Got to fire this up. Let's see where we're at. Now, of course, this is sitting vertically. So, and it hadn't been on that long, but it's been on for 30 minutes. And I think, let's just hold it up to a baby's butt. No, I'm not going to do that, but I will hold it up to my cheek. Oh yeah, no discomfort. No discomfort. It passes the cheek test. That's what do you need a $1,500 camera for? Hold it up to your cheek, save yourself the money. Hold it up to your cheek, save yourself the money. Dye temp, about 46 C. And that's with no heatsink, gang. That's with no heatsink. So this is a good product. It's a little bit more expensive than the cost of the parts. You figure parts are 65, 67 bucks. But instead of going out and buying a $20 heatsink, they give you this big meaty board and the drivers on board so that you could just kind of strap it to your build. It's a strap-on. Is really what it is. It's a strap-on product. It's a strap-on product. You just strap it on your build with some cable ties or some screws or whatever the case may be. And you could kind of just turn it on and off with a timer. For the more advanced people, you know, you can get in there with the digital controls, and it's got two separate digital control ports for the 660 and the far red. So yeah, it looks pretty bright. These are the Cree. I think they're the XTEHE, which stands for high efficiency. This is a very good diode. This is a very good diode. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. Okay. Okay. Let's go back. We're still mobile. We're still mobile, gang. The sun has set. B is 52 volts, not D. Okay, well, no one cares. Let's see. Yep. If that LED board was cross-drilled, what am I doing? What am I doing? Don't click might empty your wallet. That was supposed to be a joke title. Can we get some par readings? Yeah, I guess we could get some par readings. All I have though is a Lycor, and this particular Lycor I think is calibrated. It's pretty much a white supremacist's par meter. You know, it pretty much I think it's calibrated for a whiter product. But we'll feast a ganders, man. We'll feast a little ganders. You know what I mean? Let's see here. All right, how are we going to set this up? Fortunately, I don't have anything to strap it to, but we can just kind of lay it down, you know, just kind of lay it down here, see if it'll reach. It won't reach. It's not going to reach. That's okay. Okay, I'm going to drop you guys down here, you know.
There you go. There you go. Are you comfortable down there? You all right? Ooh, it's got a nice glow to it. Got a nice glow to it. Let's feast the ganders. All right, so we're about 2 feet away, something like that. So figure out. It's about 50 micromoles, roughly. About 50 micromoles. Of course, this is not. Let's say about 2 feet. Yeah, something like that. It's kind of hard. I don't know. You guys can't even see anything. I only had 3 hands. Yeah, about 50 micromoles. So this is thing. You know, it's got 12 660s, and 6 of them are far red. So what you have to remember is that this is not something that you're using to necessarily drive photosynthesis faster. It's more of something to drive photomorphogenic effects, like Hirut was saying, and others. You know, you want to bring out some colors, you want to bring out some trikes, you want to help chlorophyll A and B kind of synthesize faster. That's kind of what it's for. And I think it's running like about 25 watts, something like that, 24 watts, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'll get my Apogee, which is more geared towards you know, blurple LEDs and white products as well, and I think that will probably be better. I think that'll probably be better for testing. Let me catch up with you guys real quick. So, what will be the cost to get you here to Europe? What will this cost me to get here to Europe? I don't know. That's a rapid LED. That one's a rapid LED product, so you know, I would assume there'd be some shipping involved and some import fees and stuff like that. Zora, I saw red in Amsterdam. I was adding as I finished the light, but now I'm having to figure out about getting some more cobs. Oh, right, yeah. Well, you know, these are a very targeted spectrum. It's kind of it'd be kind of for taking your build to the next level. You know, to if you have all the light you need within your cobs for photosynthesis, this would be kind of adding that extra, filling out the spectrum on the right-hand side. You know, which is kind of hard to do. It's hard to do cheaply. On the left-hand side, you know, over in the royal blue area, it's pretty easy to do. You know, those royal blue cobs are like 20 bucks, but the 660 reds are a little trickier. Is there a way? Is there a way? Hold on. I gotta get refixed up here. Man, I think I'm a little rusty on the old streamings. I'm a little rusty on the old streams. Here you go. I'll talk to you this way. Wow, I've been on for almost an hour. That was not intended. I cooked the cob, I think. Oh, uh-oh. Yeah, maybe no thermal, or maybe it wasn't screwed down right. What's up, that guy? How's it going, man? Good to see you. Krista Paul, that's a fucking Greek name if I've ever seen one. Is there a way to use 220 volt to run an LED to cut even more cost? Yeah, generally 220 volt is the most efficient AC input for drivers. Most drivers run a little more efficient at 220, not all drivers. The bigger ones typically run a little more efficient. But as far as cutting costs, all 220 does for you is really balance your amp load on the 2 legs of electrical that you have coming into your box, and it allows you to use a little thinner gauge wire for 220 because current is going on either leg, whereas 110 it's all going down one leg. So you can reduce your wire gauge, but it's not a massive cost savings thing. 53 minutes, not even an hour. You coming back home for spring break? I don't know, manager. I don't know. If I do, I'll definitely get in touch with you. I'd love to check out your peppers. I'll pick some peppers. Pick a pepper. I'll take 2 of your pucks. Okay, Scaregrow. I'll open up pre-orders next week, and I'll hit you guys with some more videos and configs and stuff like that. Yeah. How close to the canopy would you recommend for that bar? Well, you would just mount it to your light. You would mount it to your light frame,
And so, you know, you would want that red light distributed evenly. So you'd want it as high as your light is, whether that's 18 inches or 24 inches, you know, whatever that is. That's kind of where you're going to want it. Anyone into, someone ban this guy. Anyone into pissing? Come on, bro. I'm not going to ban you. I'm just going to time you out. That's weird. That's weird. I don't do that pee-pee stuff, dude. Not without a tarp. Okay. What else do we got here? Yo, watch my vids. All right, Phil. What? Yo, watch my vids. All right, guys, you have a directive. Leave here right now and go over to Phil McCracken's YouTube and watch his vids. And then give him some waffle fries for free. Robocrop. Robocrop. Oh man, they keep coming out with new names, guys. They keep coming out with new names. Robocrop is the 3000 Kelvin Samsung LM301B semi-mount conductor. SMD? Spectrum. Any different than the 3000 Kelvin LM561C? That is a great question. Now here's the problem. I am streaming on this device here, and I can't do a screen share from the iPad. I could point the camera over here, but with the glare and everything, I would have to get back with you on that, and let me tell you why it might be slightly different. I would imagine as you probably know, because you know to this technical level, Robocrop, I would imagine the royal blue diodes that are under the phosphor are probably the same chip between the 561 and the 301. However, the geometry is different, right? The 301, I think, is like a 3 mil or a 3.7 by 3.7 or 3 mil by 3 mil package. So it potentially is a smaller chip with less phosphor. And so if indeed it had less phosphor, it could potentially have a little less blue than the larger 561 that everyone uses. It's a great question. I could make up something super convincing, but it would be made up. I don't know. I don't know. Long to win. When I plug in my 500 watt chilled Connect light, my kilowatt meter says 0. Do you happen to know why this might be the case? Yeah, it's most likely everything's plugged in? Everything only plugs one way. Hold on just a second. Everything only plugs one way. And so if you have a hole open, then it's not plugged in right. You know what I mean? So, oh, okay, yeah, I think I see. I think I know what the issue might be. So, is the camera still on me? Yeah. Here, let's switch over to this view here. Let's switch over to this view here, long. Okay, this is for long wind. So this is your, for your chilled kit, this is your AC power inlet. And this part here goes to the thermal protection fuses that protect your LEDs from getting too hot. And what this does is this is the hot power. This is the 110 volt power running through the thermal switches that provides electricity to your drivers. So if this isn't connected, then your kilowatt's going to read 0. And there's a number of wires. You know, they're typically loom, but you know these go 1 to 1. And if you happen to have not connected all the thermal switches on this power cord, there's an end like this. All you have to do is just bypass them by clicking these two together on the power cord, and that bypasses all the thermal switches. So if you haven't connected all the thermal switches, that will at least run power to the drivers. Test it that way, see if it turns on, and if it does not, I will provide you further assistance in the morning via phone or email or whatever. Just let me know what your order number is, and I'll service you, bro. I will service you so hard in the morning. You will just, let me just abort that line of, let me abort that. Sending me an email about what happened. Okay. is there any info about the effect of light temperature, Kelvin, in type of root growth? Been using some 4K and some 3K QBs for veg, and the plants under the 4K seem to develop roots in width, not depth. Well, that's interesting. There may be some other factors at play, but based on what Wikipedia says, red light helps plants root better. And the IR primarily heats up the soil. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'm fuzzy on that. I mean, I did a bunch of research when I made the video, so I could sound super smart, but without it right in front of me, I don't know. Yeah, red light does different shit to roots. Long to win, thanks, appreciate it, bro. Okay, yeah, Long, get back to me. If you were one of the guys that ordered one of the kits. Oh, I recognize your name. Okay, yeah, dude, I'll help you out. Try that out, and if that didn't work, I'll get you whatever parts you need or help walk you through the process. Get you up and running. 366 viewers. Wow. Let's go read off some Wikipedia to some people. We got 366 people. Alrighty. They're bright. Unannounced. Empty my wallet. Well, we kind of already did a little bit of the wallet emptying part of the stream. And I was planning on only going for 1 hour until 6. So I think we're going to call it here. I will be on the square table tomorrow with your host, Crazy Wago. And that happens in like 24 hours. So I need to rest up for that. And yeah, I'm spent. I'm out of jokes. I don't have any more good jokes. I wonder how long I could sit here in silence until the view count went to 0. I have to blink. Okay, goodbye.